Alright, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and share. This is actually an interesting revelation, you guys. This is a dream that I received. I would say, within the past couple of weeks. This is a dream that I received from the Lord, and I was debating. In all honesty, I was debating on whether I was going to share this dream or not. Just because, number one, I've shared this message a lot of times before, and also, the dream was pretty short. It was actually a revelation of how this is going to come about. I believe it's actually one of the ways it's going to come about. And what we're talking about is, if you guys are unaware of this, if you don't know this, really, you guys, what's going to be one of the end times judgments that are going to come in the future is that, really and truly, ladies and gentlemen, what people are going to see come on the earth is going to be really and truly people, people turning into the base core animalistic, really and truly, just to say it plainly, people are going to be turning into zombies, literally. Like, the people are going to be gone. They're not going to be there. The only thing that's going to be inside of those bodies is going to be the evil that is present in the people. To make it a long story short, the evil is going to take over the bodies of the people. That's really and truly what's going to happen. And people are literally going to be turning into zombies. At the end of the day, I'm going to share this dream and this revelation with you guys real quick. In the dream, what it was that I saw was literally, the way that this was happening is that people were dying. People, the regular person passed away. They died. And then after the person passed away and died, they came back to life. What was in them, the evil that was in them, was what was now able to operate and function inside of that body. And I can tell you guys, I got a glimpse of how these creatures are going to be, moving and acting. And I can definitely tell you guys, we're talking about very vicious, very fast. It's definitely something that is, I would hope as a Christian and a believer in Jesus Christ, I would hope that I would hope that I am not here during that time whenever those types of things are happening. Whenever it gets that deep into the end times and that type of stuff is going on, I would hope that, there would be a, a way out, if you want to call it that. Some people may call it, the rapture. The rapture is something that I honestly, I don't talk about very much, because I don't really know it. That ends up being a topic that is endlessly debated without any real solid revelations on that at this moment in time. You know what I mean? So I don't really get real deep into the rapture topic. But there are other instances in the Bible. The woman that is protected, that flees into the wilderness. People call it the Revelation 12 event. There are many other instances of Christians that are protected and hidden from the great evil that is going to come upon the earth. And either which way you want to look at it, I would definitely say that I personally would hope that I would be able to not see, let's put it that way. I would hope I wouldn't have to see some of these things happen in real life, because I can tell you guys, whenever my father passed away, I had a dream 2 weeks before my father passed away. I had a dream that my father was going to pass away. And I have many prophetic dreams that come true that are about my personal life that I don't really share, because it's not really no need for me to share personal revelations about my own personal life. That's not really something that's really beneficial to other people. That's kind of the way that I see it. But I've had dreams that 2 weeks before my father passed away, that my father was going to pass away, and that was something that I did not want to see. At the end of the day, I knew it was going to happen and I didn't want to see it. I had, there's, just put it this way, many different instances that are very similar to that. And, whenever I have those types of dreams, I wake up with this, I wake up with that feeling of, man, I hope that I don't have to see that. And I can tell you guys, whenever I had this zombie dream a couple of weeks ago, I woke up with that feeling at that time of where it was like, man, I hope that I don't have to see that, but at the end of the day, it's something that, regardless of whether somebody has to see these things or not, we have to be strong in faith, regardless of the situation. So, at the end of the day, that's just the reality of what we have to go through in the end times. There's a lot of things that we don't want to see just on a daily basis. You know what I mean? But yet we still have to deal with those things and really and truly seek God for that strength. So at the end of the day, I try not to worry about the future, and I try to focus on the present, the present time, and maintaining a good mind and a good heart in the present, so that I'm able to help people currently in the present time. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done. There's still a lot of people that are looking for the truth as to what's gonna happen, as to who really is God. There's many people out here that don't even know who God is. People are wondering. People say, well, is Jesus Christ the Son of God? Which is very true. Jesus Christ is the Son of God. That's the truth, exactly like what's written in the Bible. That is the truth. But there's also people that would wonder, is Allah God? Can you see what I mean? There's still people out here that need to be reached with a solid and truthful message that's able to open the minds and the hearts of the people, to be able to really and truly show them the truth with a level of positivity and a level of understanding. So I try not to worry too much about things that could be years away. You know what I mean? So that's just my perspective on the matter. But definitely, you guys, God bless and maintain the faith always. That's the way I view it. I try to maintain the faith always, no matter the circumstances, no matter the situation. That's just really and truthfully no matter what, you know. But anyways, you guys, I thank you all for listening, and I could definitely tell you guys, that's one of the things that's really coming in the future. It is going to be the zombie outbreak. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds like a movie, but it's the real deal. That's really what it is. I made a message on how the great deception is how Hollywood really shows people these things in a deceptive way, so that when these things really do come about, that people do not relate it to the judgment of God, and these sorts of things. That's the reason why Hollywood shows these things in movies, is to blind the eyes of the people, so that when these things happen in the earth, people don't relate it to God. That's another interesting revelation. I shared that revelation before, and I can definitely tell you guys that that's one of the major things that's very, very real. Anyways, you guys, honestly, I'm gonna have to be headed to the store with my mom. I just wanted to share that with you guys real quick, and definitely God bless, and I hope that all of you are doing well out there, and I'll talk to you guys later. Amen.